Wanadhani asibongolala.
Tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Wanadhani asibongolala.
Tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Mwambie punde imechoka sana.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get.
This is the reason I support what Morara and other leaders are doing tomorrow at Uhuru Park by calling for a rally of the unemployed. You can say that Morara is being paid by Kasongo or whoever. I've seen these stories. Mimi sijali sana. We will be watching the outcome and what will become of it. Will it be self-interest centered or will it be people-oriented? Because someone has to do something about the unemployment rate in our country, which is at choking levels. Young people have been rampaging the city. When the president was visiting the city, you saw the effect of unemployment. The level of desperation is sickening. And something needs to begin. These rallies must go countrywide, not only in Nairobi. I believe.
Do you think people will take Jimmy Wanjigi seriously? And what is the future if these talks continue from Jimmy Wanjigi to Okiya Omtata about, look,
I jokingly told Jimmy Wanjigi after the show, you should brief your security. Yeah, I mean, I didn't mean, but it is serious that he's opening a box that nobody has ever opened. People are beginning to question things they will never have questioned. The truth in this country, and I think many other countries, is you cannot clearly show me the monies you have collected, and worse still, you cannot show me what the money has done. Every year we budget, we put money on roads, we put billions in infrastructure. But sometimes, even before the tendering process is over for those projects, the year has ended. We never even get to know where the money goes. I'm talking like a layman. Maybe you can say you are carrying over. And if you are carrying over, why will you allocate another 200 billion?
You see this guy called Jimmy Wanjigi. He's trending on a very, very dangerous ground. He's speaking a very, very dangerous language. Unaambia mtu wa kawaida, unaanza kuambia mtu wa kawaida achukue kalamu, ati aanze kuangalia ushuru yenye wanalipa, ati aangalia paia wamelipa ushuru ya pesa ngapi, na hiyo mwaka budget ilikuwa ya pesa ngapi. Ati unawaambiwa kuja hapa chini, wakuja wa balance, wakuja waona ile pesa wametoa na ile pesa imetumika na ile pesa serikali imekopa. You are telling mwananchi wa kawaida those language, and you think there will be peace in this country. You know, the ruling class and the elites and the politicians wanataka kusikia sisi watu wa mulima, wanataka kusikia huko Western wakisema sisi Waluya tumechoka, wanataka kusikia the Luos saying Wakikuyu they don't support us, wanataka wasikie Rift Valley Wakalenjin wakisema Wakikuyu wanataka kutoa mtu wetu. That is what the politicians and the ruling class, they want to hear. They know with that language forever hamtawajitoa. Lakini unaambia mtu wa kawaida mama mboga ati things called debt, anaanza kuongea sijui debt, sijui gross domestic product, sijui tunatoa pesa ngapi, ati KRA wanatoa hizi, tumetumia hizi. Unaanza kuambia mtu wa kawaida aanze kuchukua kalamu, and you think there will be peace. In fact, it's just a matter of time. And every politician, they will gang up against him because of that language. Even those who want to go in. Because ukianza kuambia mtu wa kawaida aanze kuchukua kalamu, bro, kutai kuwa na peace, pesa zilienda wapi? Ziko wapi? Zinaendaga wapi? Unaambia mtu wa kawaida hataki hizo vitu. Mtu wa kawaida anataka ambiwe utatoka bottom, uende up. Siji nyinyi Wakikuyu mnataka kumalizwa na ile watu wengine, na wale mnaambao wanataka kuamaliza au walisha kitambo, na already wameambiwa nyinyi ndio mnataka kuamaliza. That is the language of politicians in Kenya. All of them wanataka kukaa kwa meza wasikie those stories, lakini ati wanakaa kwa meza wanasikia ati kuna mahali watu wa kawaida wanaanza kuchukua kalamu, wenye wanalipa ushuru kalamu, mnaanza kubalance pale chini, taxes, revenue corrected, sijui debts zilienda wapi, hii project ilikuwa pesa ngapi. Wewe Jimmy Wanjigi is trending on a very, very dangerous ground. Otherwise, if that conversation peaks, there will be no peace. There will be no peace in this country.
My friend, huwezi linganisha Kenya na Singapore na watu wanalala njaa. Kabisa. Huwezi linganisha Kenya na Canada na hapa kuna kazi iko na umekanyagia. Nataka kuambiwa Kenya, haidha tutachagua nani, but we need somebody like Jimmy Wanjigi. Mtu ambayo amejua tatizo la Mkenya na tatizo la Kenya. Ninaona shida ya njaa ya pesa. Tunataka mtu kama Jimmy Wanjigi. Kwa hii kama mtawala tunatengeneza. Kwa sababu tunataka mtu ambaye anakaa na serikali chini, wanapanga mikakati, anaambia serikali ya kwamba hapa tukifinya hapa tukiweka hapa mambo itakuwa shwari. But wewe unawekwa chini unakataliwa. We need somebody like Jimmy Wanjigi akaa na serikali ambayo inakuja chini.
My name is Jimmy Wanjigi and I want to be your president. I don't think I need to say anything else.
Yes.
That's it.
Why do you want to be our president?
Because I can change this country for the better. In totality. I'm what you call a change agent. Those people that just dramatically change the way something is done. And we have the ethos for it. We know what to do. We know how to do it. And we have clarity about the future greatness of this nation.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's why. As simple as such.
Very simple.
We cannot, in the 20th century, use the tribe to determine how we want to grow our economy. And it can be done. And we must stop these individuals. How do we stop them? Is by educating a new crop of voters who will vote on the basis of manifestos. I want to hear somebody telling me if it is the health sector, if it is university education, if it is agriculture, how are you going to deal with it? And I have given this example ad nauseum. When you go into a plane, you are flying from Nairobi to Mombasa. Do you ever ask, what is the tribe of the pilot? You don't care. You simply want a competent pilot.
Pilot, yes.
But when we want our nation to be piloted, we then ask which tribe. So we must make a deliberate, see our neighborhood in Tanzania. How is it that a country with over 136 ethnicities, they have succeeded in ensuring that the tribe does not matter in national political discourse? It can be done.
Na meguruma mambo ya coming together. Coming together, sisi hatuna shida na coming together with anybody. Lakini it must be coming together on the issues that are affecting wananchi. Si mambo ya ukabila. Mambo ya ukabila tuliwachana nayo zamani sana. Si Genz mlitupa hiyo mbali. We are coming together on the issues that are disturbing this nation. And the current issue, sijui kama hapa nyie mko na pesa. Where I go to other places wanasema ni hii. Hatuna hii. Hatuna hii. Hapa mko na pesa? Hapa mko na pesa?
I have never
June
seen
25th came and went.
I have never seen Kenyans running for bullets. I've never seen. They run away from them. This time I saw them running for bullets. And you say Kenyans are not committed. They ran towards the bullets. I've never seen this ever here in this republic. And I don't think anybody ever has. And you think it's over? What are you talking about? The 25th of June.
I want to...
Just hold on. The 25th of June. I want you to record it here. Was the end of this regime. And you are going to see a systematic failure that is not only going to lead to Genz, even you'll be out on the street.
Wakati huo 1960, hata kama tulikuwa na uongozi wa Jomo Kenyatta, ukienda kwa bank kulikuwa kipimo cha pesa ambayo unaweza patiwa. Mzungu hakuwa na limit. Anaenda unauliza milioni moja anapatiwa na bank. Muhindi anaenda kwa bank anaambiwa wewe utafika loan ya 15,000. Ilikuwa pesa mingi sana wakati huo. Lakini Mwafrika akienda kwa bank anaambiwa wewe unaonekana uko na kazi na sura inang'ara kidogo. maximum 4,000. 4,000. Na tuko na uhuru wa nchi. Tuko na uhuru wa nchi. Ndio tuwasema siku hizi uongozi ule tulipatiwa kutoka mzungu tulibadilisha tu na mzungu Mwafrika. Ni ile.
Are you feeling richer? Are you feeling you have money in your pockets? Do you have disposable income? We are now 60 years plus after independence. And what is it that is not empowering us? America. It is this system. Because all it's doing from you is extracting from you. All it's doing from you is exploiting you. And when you question it, they send the police to deal with you. Even though your rights, political rights, say they cannot. Even though they are told you cannot come inside that property, they come. Even though they are told you cannot arrest you, they arrest. Even though that is an infringement of our political rights guaranteed in the Constitution. And if they can do it to me, I can assure you, each and every one of you are mincemeat to that system.
You guys, let's talk about Ghanaian politics, because I've had a keen eye on their politics for a while, and especially because, one, the new president has just been sworn in, His Excellency Mahama. But I came to realize and have a keen eye for Ghanaian politics because of their member of parliament for a constituency called Ningo Pram. He's called Honorable George Sam, or Sam George. He has a Ghanaian name. I'm not going to pronounce it because my Kikuyu accent will not allow. But he came to Kenya and did an interview at Spice FM, and he was talking to us about fighting government addiction to foreign aid because of what it had done to their country. It was so bad that their previous president, aka their Kasongo, had taken so much foreign debt that inside the people's savings in bank institutions and financial institutions zilikuwa zinakatwa savings zao ati, so that in an attempt to settle or pay off their debt. And so I'm so happy that they have managed to get that guy out of power, because if Ghana can do it, so can we.
We've been here before, since 2007, 2017 there was handshake, 2018. The victims never got compensation. There was no accountability for the killings. So even this one, I can assure you, in less than 2 weeks they are going to join the government. So if ODM means what they are saying, they must be truthful to the people of Kenya and their long-suffering members and those who've bore the brunt of the atrocities committed by the state.
So, so Safina Party, do you want to go this alone? Because we know the realities of the Kenyan political system. You will need allies.
Let me explain to you, Trevor. The mistake that people make is this.
Yeah.
I'll rather not win a position than form a coalition, make a deal with the devil, just so that I can get a position. I am very comfortable sitting in this studio and educating the people of Kenya on the issue that they need to focus on. It is not a do and die for me to become a deputy president of the Republic of Kenya. What is a do and die for me is to make sure that baby Pendo, that 6-month baby who was beaten to death on her head, Rosa here was the Kisumu women rep at the time, beaten to death by a policeman on her baby coat in the arms of her mother, gets justice. That to me is do or die. But I am not going to say for political convenience, you sacrifice principles, you sacrifice beliefs, you sacrifice the interest of the people just so that you get a position in power. No, that we must say not to it. Okay. And let me just conclude by saying this. It is well within their right, by the way, it is well within any political coalition to do what they are doing. The problem is to lie to the people of Kenya. And the worst problem is for the Kenyan people to be lied to and believe them. Okay. If they believe that what is need in this country are positions for leaders, then so be it. I have no problem with it.
Okay.
But I'm simply standing on the side of what I call alternative facts that wants a society that believes in a country that works for its people and not for its leaders.
Okay.
Ruto today is known as Zakayo kwa ajili ya tax. Si ushuru ndio kazi yake? Atumalize. You must ask yourselves why? Why? Being a thief is only one aspect. The budget that Senator Onyonka is talking about, 4.2 trillion, ambao iko kwa bunge saa hii. 3.2 trillion ni recurrent expenditure. Si ya development, ni ya kukula. Na ukiangalia hiyo 3.2, 2.2 inaenda kulipa madeni. 2.2 inaenda kulipa madeni. 400 is needed for operations za serikali. 500, 600 ya salaries. Unakuja sasa kwa madeni. Because we will not get more than 2.8 trillion revenue. Kuingia kwa madeni, you're borrowing for counties. You're borrowing for the little development you can do, which you cannot do. So hata tukiwa hapa, tukisema tutatoa ushuru ni sawa. Tutalipa deni namna gani? Na deni ni 70% ya pesa zetu. 70%. Na itakuwa hivyo mpaka 2036. Mwaka huu 1.9 trillion deni. The next financial year 2.2 trillion deni. The next financial year 2.4 trillion deni. If we do not understand hiyo deni ilikuwa ya nini and that we are going to solve that problem, hata sisi tukiingia kwa hiyo kiti ya urais, tukiingia in 3 months mtakuwa nasema tuondoke hata sisi. Tuwe kama Kasongo. So we must be united on solving the problem, the real problem of this country. Not just to say we are united. There were people who were united before they told us freedom was coming. Iko wapi? Iko wapi? Ilikuja. And today they are here with us because they were cheated. Because they were cheated. There were others who were told, like my dear sister, that there is a liberation coming from Raila Amolo Odinga. Leo Raila ako wapi? Na ni rafiki yangu, ako wapi? Ako wapi? The two deputies are united here, na wao wako united kule kwingine. Let us be careful about this unity. It must be about framing the questions of the people of Kenya. Na Genz mulifanya kazi last year. Mulifanya kazi. You changed the politics of this country. June 25th, mulimaliza Kasongo. But you also finished the politics ya kienyeji. Mulimaliza hiyo ya kienyeji ya zamani. You are now in the politics of Dodge. Dodge, kama Americans wanasema. Kuna mjaluo aliniambia hiyo inaitwa donge. Dodge ya Elon Musk is where you are. You are changing the fabric of our politics. Do not stop. You are today, you are tomorrow, you are the day after. Asanteni sana, God bless you all.
Government can offer free education up to tertiary level. But why can't Kenya government do it? Out of every 100 Kenya shillings they collect as your tax money, 80 shillings is spent on debt finance. They are left with 20 shillings. That's a broke government. Because from the 20 shillings they are left with, they need 30 shillings for operations. They need 35 shillings for salaries. They're already negative. They need 15 shillings to send to counties. So what do we do? Because kids must still go to school. Pass the burden to the parent. That is why you saw the so-called new university funding model that has led to a situation where almost half of the students students who are meant to join university this year didn't join university. Hence, you see the collapse of institutions. More University is just one of them. Ask yourself, when did the rain start beating these institutions? When government stopped remitting capitation? They are all facing a cash crunch. Just accommodation alone, go to the University of Nairobi today. How many students are sleeping not in the halls of residence, but in the lecture theatres? Many students are sleeping in the lecture theatres. How many students are squatting? One bed is shared by 3 students because some are not able to afford to pay for the hostel fees. Why? Because of the economy. And I'm telling you, it is because of this odious debt.
The problems we have were created primarily over the last 10 years, of which the current president was well aware of. You cannot feign ignorance. And if you're going for the top job, the one thing you must do is do some homework. You can't feign ignorance that maybe I was out of the system and so on, so I didn't know what was going on. You are here in Kenya like all of us. You have been in government. You have done an assessment of your liabilities. You've done an assessment of your credit balance. You should have before you make promises. Just like a company. I know what the right side of my book says and the left side. My liabilities and my assets. And the problem we're having is that that was not done. In fact, it was ignored, like it's irrelevant. Let's just go and induce the people with the Bonoko talk, right? So that when they consume it, yeah, they will say, yes, now we have a narrative called Hustler versus Dynasty. The problem in this country is the liability are dynasties. That is the way it was put. They're the liability. Right? So we remove them and life will be better. Right? We are going to take money from them under this bottom-up scheme. We are going to take money from them and bring it down to you. But nobody could quite show you how this path is to be done. It was simplified into some sort of ideology, right, of haves versus have-nots. Now, the greatest thing about that campaign, though, and I must say it, is that we are here today discussing ideological economic agendas and political ones. This is no longer the past where Kenyans didn't care about this deep an issue, even about the economy. Right? We are graduating. We are reforming. And that we must pat ourselves on the back for. It's a very positive thing. Because this is how the world runs. You debate issues, real issues. Right? Now Kenyans are understanding what an exchange rate loss means. When they see the shilling coming down, what it means to their lives. They're understanding something called interest rate. They're understanding it. Right? They're understanding hii mafuta, kibadilika, inaharibu maisha yetu. They're understanding it. And they're concentrating on it because of the pain. And the awareness, right, that this government got in promising us honey. And what we've gotten in return within 1 year is a very different template.
This economy is in shambles. Yesterday you saw the World Bank and IMF come out guns blazing to defend themselves on the issue of debt that we've been talking about here.
Yes.
And it was the headline news on Nation. And the main point is that debt, which we've been talking about on this platform for now almost 2 years, is the bane of our economy. Our economic pain is caused by the spiraling debt. Debt that a large component of it is odious, is illegal. Debt that was taken without following our laws. Debt that was taken without financing any project. Debt that was taken and ended up in individuals' pockets. And yet you come to the people of Kenya to release money to pay for that debt. So you keep mopping out money out of our economy every month to pay for money that never landed in this economy. That is why there is pain. Our pain is very simple. You are spending 80% of your collections to pay debt finance. And yet the money you are paying for never came here. So you are depleting the money that's circulating in our economy and expropriating it to pay debt. That is why you are feeling pain. This thing will only change when it takes a courageous leader who will break the chain of debt and say, enough is enough. Zakayo cannot do that. Because in this debt mess,
Zakayo was first the deputy president. Then he became the president, who has been also taking, in fact, he's taken in 1 year. He took more than 1 trillion debt in 1 year.
They are going for another one this week.
They are now going for, I'm talking of that was last year alone. He took 1 trillion debt.
In 1 year?
In 1 year. One financial year. This year he's also saying he's going to take around 1.6 trillion.
Yes.
And when he takes these monies, there is no project. Because if you are doing a project that is worth 1 trillion, all Kenyans will feel the impact of that project.
And now this is just 2 years in government. What do you think of the remaining 3 years?
Pain. Pain. If you say I'm a prophet of doom, sawa, you live your prophet of joy. Me, I'm Jeremiah. I read the signs on the wall. A prophet is not supposed to tell you what you want to hear. He's supposed to tell you what the truth is. 2 more years of William Ruto is pain. Pain, pain, pain. Because the economy is not improving. More and more people are becoming jobless. Many shops are closing. Factories are closing. But the government wants more money from you. The cost of living is becoming higher and higher. So if that's not pain, then I don't know. Me, I recognize that to be pain. So it is going to be more pain.
William Samoei Ruto cannot solve problems that he has helped create. He cannot. God will never even bless him with that. If you had the brain, you'd never have created them in the first place. He has created such problems in this country to do with money, to do with the economy of this nation. And I can tell you he's compounding it. He cannot solve it. He's part of the last wreck that has happened in the previous regime, and he's creating even more mess now. He cannot solve it. Every day William Ruto is in power, I want Kenyans to know, it is more and more pain. He has no solution to this. Not one person has stood up and said, Jimmy, you're talking rubbish.
So what do we do now?
That's the point.
No, what would you do now? Because what you have said
immediately.
is, and again, because some are either not reading our laws, not competent or doing their due diligence, are in on it, and that is just about everybody. So what now? What do you do with these claims? Where do you go?
You know what happened? Let me just give you a small story. I had a banker friend of mine who called me after, I think I appeared on TV last week somewhere. And he says, just wait a minute, he owns a bank. And he says, are you saying these bonds we are taking, there's somewhere we are missing out on the law? I said, yes, call your risk fellow. Right? And the risk said, oh no, but if central bank is issuing bonds, it's lawful. No. It's anchored in development, anchored in this. And they started panicking. They do not read the bottom line. So don't expect the people who are giving us Eurobonds too. As far as they're concerned, they just want the sovereign guarantee. They're making huge profits, right? It's the best place, especially when there've been low interest rates abroad. This is a great place to go and put our money and earn a huge interest rate. Now, that is their motive. They're earning huge profits at our expense, because our people are not following. The people responsible are not following the law.
We have reached the NCT, and that's what a lot of the political class are not understanding. This model cannot work anymore. It's a total shift now. The days when you are going to keep what you call planned poverty, where 60% are below the poverty level, and 30% are struggling to keep a job, and a few 10% or 10 friends are ruling and earning, are gone. That model is gone.
What's a sign that it's gone?
This is the sign you're now seeing. We are at a situation today where we cannot raise more taxes. I'm glad, City, you talked about reject finance bill. Yes, Gen Z rejected it, but they continue demonstrating, which means the pain was still there even after the rejection. All right? So the pain is still with us. You can't go that way anymore. You have exhausted your loan avenue. You're on your knees, begging the world to save you. Our president has literally become a slave to the conditions in this country that he helped create, and a slave to people he's begging to keep alive. He is currently in political and economic ICU as William Samoei Ruto. That is the state of our nation. We are at an end. We are not producing. And we are saying no more of this. The Adani thing is a case in point. So what happens here with exploitation, extraction, and dominance is that now when you have taken our taxes to pay debt, because you become a slave to debt, what else do you come for? You come for assets, because we need to be bailed out. So a new colonization wave comes. Royal East Africa Company of 1887 is no different to what Adani is trying to do at the airport. You're now coming for our blue chip enterprises and taking them for 30 plus years and colonizing us further. The next it will be Kenya Power. The next it will be our climate. The next it will be our minerals. So we become slaves for another 100 years. That is where we are, because we have nothing. And are we going to agree this? I say no. We cannot continue with this. This is the end of it. And the political class don't get it. They don't understand that now we are very interested in civic education. We want to understand. We are now very well aware of what is going on in the world, where we are. It is not like our forefathers who did not even know what reading a book was. We are at a very different stage in our lives, and we are not going to be colonized anymore, whether by our local colonialists, our neo-colonialists from outside. We are cutting off this chain, and they don't get it.
Show me precedents of where a country has been able to invoke this principle of odious debt to say that we will not pay the money that we owe. Where was this done?
2, Mozambique. Mozambique in 2019 took something called the tuna bond, very similar to our Eurobond. And when the regime fell in an election, an investigation was done by the citizens of Mozambique, where they challenged the odious debt of the tuna bond. It was $2 billion, supplied by even banks like Credit Suisse of Switzerland. I can tell you they won that case in their constitutional court. They were up against, their laws are not even as good as ours. They won that case in their constitutional court. They were up against parliament and an executive, and it was declared odious. Do you know Credit Suisse even refunded money and actually had some of their staff removed from office? It was successful. Malaysia had the MDGB scandal, and I asked Kenyans to watch something that's available even on YouTube, right? Called A Man on the Run. And it explains $4 billion of theft supplied by Merrill, I think it was JP Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan Chase, right? I believe it was. I think it was maybe the other. Anyway, Goldman Sachs, it was Goldman Sachs. That gave that money, so-called for a sovereign wealth fund for development that government was doing. They called it and termed it odious. It went to people's pockets, right? It was struck off, right? And even the former prime minister is serving a 12-year sentence because of it. So it has been successful. In fact, the Americans started it with Cuba in the 1930s. So this is a successful model.
If you were president today, what would be the 1, 2, 3 things that you would do to solve the crisis in the country?
I'll tell you. The first thing is that I would cut off the chain of debt. Because I want you to understand that in as much as all this is going on, I told you we only had a deficit of 1.3. Kenyans, up until today, have paid 9.8 trillion towards that debt and still owe 11 trillion. It is something I would cut off like yesterday. And that frees up government money to be able to provide services to Kenyans and stimulate the economy by taking money back to the people. And And that is what you call now economic liberation. The one thing that has not been understood by many people up until today is what period we're in. We went through the political rights period, which is about cutting up this cake for seats, as they are trying to do now. Nobody cares about it because we passed it. The 2010 Constitution gave us our rights. Now we are into the economic rights period, where we define economic models about the bakers of the cake. I, for example, am a capitalist who believes in the essence of social democracy, social justice. Okay? And I must create my model. This is the defining moment of ideological economy, ideological politics. I myself will be very interested to see the private sector be the driver. So I'll never take their money. I don't need it.
Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Silence in the face of injustice is complicity. When you stay silent, you allow wrongs to continue unchallenged. Your voice is a weapon. Use it. Think about what sets your soul on fire. Equality, justice, human rights. Fight for these. Don't wait for others. Be the one who steps into the fray, who shouts the truth. Crush fear and complacency. Every time you speak out, you shake the foundations of oppression and inspire others to join you. Don't be a bystander. Be a warrior for what's right. The time for action is now. Be relentless, be fierce, and let your voice thunder against injustice."
And don't buy into the political rhetoric of trying to divide you into tribes.
Yes.
Our problems are not tribal. There is no Kikuyu problem, there is no Kalenjin problem, there is no Luo problem, there is no Somali problem. There is no Kamba problem.
Yes.
Chief share knows no tribe. The university funding model knows no tribe.
Yeah.
Joblessness knows no tribe. All these problems that we point out,
yeah,
they do not know any tribe.
A few moments later.
Happy time, happy time.
The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy. I want to perform their favorite song, but you know they love to sue.
What song?
Yeah, that song.
That song?
Maybe I think about it.
Oh no.
Know what? I slow it down. Say, ladies, do me this solid.
Ooh.
Eagle one.
Hey. They not. They not. They not. Hey. You think that they gon' let you disrespect pop, nigga? I think that open show will be your last stop, nigga. They confound. I don't know why you still pretending. What is the owl? Burn niggas and burn bitches. Go. The audience not dumb. Check the stories how you want. And Drake, they're not. Rabbit hole is still deep. I can go further. I promise. Take that some P rest there for bitching. You Malibu mo. Ain't no nah boy, yeah bar boy, fresh Gatorade or something. Since 2009, I had just been jumping. You niggas are getting a wedgie. You flipped over your box up. What over your phone? The only rational option. Pussy. If that straight they posture. Got fingers on the big copter. Right, break this for the doctor. Tell the pop star quit hiding. Fucking caption. Won't action. Ain't no accident. I'm please don't. Fuck around, get polished. Fuck my man from while he was in jail. That's conniving. They get his face tatted like a bitch apologizing. I'm glad these roads came home. Y'all didn't deserve no neither. Nigga like to the citron. Nigga better not speak on some head. And your homeboy needs a Peter. The predator moving flock. Their name gotta be registered. They place no name on the watch. I lean on you niggas like another line of I guess all eyes on me and I'ma send it up the. Hit the wrong name on me, I'ma get them. Sweet chin music and I will pass them. How many stock do I really have to stop? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 5. To the last, 869. Freaky ass niggas get the steady ass in. Freaky ass niggas need the steady ass inside. Get the west up here right now, we outside. Eagle one say.
To my fellow young Kenyans, if you are not a registered voter, please make the time to go and register as a voter. Because Kenya's future depends on you and me. So how do you register? There are IEBC offices in every constituency, and that is where you register. So please find the location of the IEBC office in your constituency and register. All you need to carry is your identification card or your passport. There are those who are saying that Huduma centers are registering voters. Huduma centers do not have an IEBC desk as of now, maybe later. So please go register and let's prepare to save Kenya together. And for those who have registered, please go to the IEBC portal and verify your details. Please.
Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Now, so some of you are very wicked. And I don't have up to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Some of you are my village people. You are my village people. I will not hide mouth. All of you are my village people. You are the one that is following me. Go and subscribe to my YouTube to prove to me that you are not my village people. Thank you.
Hello.
Kusambaza hiyo message. Thank you. Fagia
What?
I'll take it to all the corners. You take it to the entire nation. Yes. Eh? Yes. It is a very solid car. Thank you, sir.
Ndugu yangu,
God bless you.
Fagia wote.
Kazi yangu.
Asante. Good luck, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Good luck.
All
the best.
Thank you, sir. It's time for a fresh start. Tunafagia wote. Your Excellency.
Aya, alafu matopare. Okay, matopare. Matopare. Topa. Matopare. Topa.
Itazidi kuongea kwa niaba ya Wakenya.
She asked me, baby, where you from? I told her, Kenya.
I beg of us, I really want to beg of us today, as the chair of UDA, let's stay focused to what it is we promise those hustlers. Because if we don't deliver, those hustlers will send us out of power, and they'll send us with vengeance. So let us talk about roads, electricity, education, health, pipes. Let's tone down on the politics. It is not healthy. It is not healthy. It is the wrong time.
Wananchi naweza sikia kuchukua William Ruto. Wanaweza mchukua kwa sababu sisi wananchi, we don't need him. Ametuchosha. Ama nyinyi mjachoka? Mjachoka na Ruto? Ule mtu anataka kuchukua William Ruto, you can take him for free, take Wetangula for free, take Mudavadi for free. Tunawapea hizo takataka zote waende waongoze if they are good to you.
Majenzi mko? Kazi mnafanya kwa mtandao ni mzuri sana. Na tunapongeza nyinyi. Na muendelee. Mtaendelea. Lakini mtandao peke yake haitoshi. Tunataka mjiandikishe kama wapiga kura. Wale watu ambaye watakomboa Kenya hii, wenye kuamua Kenya itaongozwa namna gani, ni hao majenzi wetu mwaka wa 2027. Lakini hamwezi amua Kenya itakaa namna gani kwa simu peke yake. Lazima mchukue vitambulisho, lazima mjiandikishe kama wapiga kura. Siku hiyo ikifika muamuke saa 9, muungane na sisi na wengine, tuende pale kwa debe, tutafute uongozi wa maana ambaye utaheshimu wa Kenya, utaheshimu demokrasia na utakubali kufanyia kila mtu maendeleo. Tumekubaliana majenzi?
Hata nasahau tarehe ni gani. Mimi siko na tarehe kwa kalenda.
na mimi hata sina haja nayo. Mimi chenye niko najo nayo ni serikali ya 2027. Huyu mkata ushuru tumtoe na tuungane si wote.
Meta vile naona nisha reject hiyo finance bill 2025. Ningoje tu date ya maandamano. Juu mambo yendi bana. Mimi hata wafanye nini? Mimi nisha reject. Mfanye nini? Nisha reject. Mfanye nisha reject. Nime reject. Mtoe date ya maandamano sasa bana.
Kwanza mimi ikifika 2027 naiba mpaka kura ya madhangu na budangu. Sitaki warudi tu huko tena. Sima youth church anuka. Madha zetu bado Ruto unaenda home na 13 parliament tunaivunja. Wende home wote tuanze fresh.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm here to address you. You must go. Ruto must go. Kwapa na hatuendi. Kwapa tunalala huku na hatuendi. We don't fear you guys. You hypocrites. We don't fear you. Mr. Speaker, we don't fear you. Tuko ndani. We stomped inside. Sisi ni nani? I'm inside. Niko ndani. Na tunamalizana na nyinyi. Tunamalizana na nyinyi. Mmetutesa sana. Today is today. You must hear our cry. Sisi ni sisi. Utatusikiza. Hii ni bunge yetu. Sisi tumewafanya mkuu hapa. This is our parliament. You must hear us. Kama hamna masikio, tutawafanya msikie. Poa manze.
Sasa nini? President tunataka kuambia uko na miaka 2 katika ofisi. Na wananchi hawa they will punish you na hata ukiwa na pesa watakutoa nje.
Wacheni tu mimi niseme na mapema. Ndio kama kuna list na andiko mniweke kwa list. I can't wait to reject finance bill 2025. I can't wait because I know it will be something absurd. It will be something mental. I can't wait. Mniweke kwa list jameni. List reject.
Idiots who don't want to participate in the affairs of their nation, they think things will just work in and of themselves. Then they are tribalists. And these tribalists, they think that they are only safe with people who are from their tribe. And tribe can mean people from the same culture, same language, or same culture. Then they are citizens. These are individuals who are responsible and know that when you want to be served, you must give those who have the desire and the intellectual capacity to serve you. In many societies, it is only a small percentage of people that can be called citizens, not more than 5%. And if a society wants to grow in the right direction, civic education is what will help the idiot and the tribalist to become a citizen.
Itoe Ruto Kenya
hata kama angalau najali. Sisi Kenya tumechoka na Ruto, maisha imetuharibikia, analipisha mpaka sodo ya wamama. Pure kabisa Ruto. We don't like you, go home. Sasa tafuta kiongozi ambaye anapenda mwananchi na anapenda kijana kama sisi.
They want to be described as honorable even when they are horrible. They acquire things which they have not worked for. They promise us things that they know they will never deliver. And there is no shortage of such men and women in the African continent.
Now, why do you want Ruto gone?
We want Ruto gone because he is killing innocent people. He's wanting to pass the Finance Bill 2024. He's putting tax on sanitary products that girls can't even buy. He's can't go to school. He's corrupt. He's taking the money. He needs to go.
Yes.
Get out. If you're going to raise anything, start with your hairline.
Nice.
Control, Alt, delete, Ruto. The drunk did better than you. Drunk did better than you.
Now the next election,
yes.
Unajua hawa ndio watakuwa nasema fagia wote ama mtasema namna gani? This generation,
yes,
they use their might because they didn't vote, the largest vote in the last election.
Hi Kenyans, mi sina maneno mingi. All I want to say is Ruto must go like yesterday. Bye.